Stacking, I'ma build a skyscraper rise. Digits flipping on the screen, Wall Street in disguise. Freedom in my pocket, dividends on the climb. Portfolio popping, every dollar multiplies. Buy low, sell high, that's the battle cry. Green arrows pointing up, touching the sky. Money moves, cash grooves, we invest in. Freedom tunes, no change, just progression. Money moves, yeah, we keep it flexing. Freedom's the vibe, we ain't second guessing. Charts looking spicy, candlesticks be lit. Crypto on a rocket, but I'm hedging with wit. Options on the table, risk like roulette spins. Freedom ain't a gamble, it's a mindset win. Buy low, sell high, that's the battle cry. Green arrows pointing up, touching the sky. Money moves, cash grooves, we invest in. Freedom tunes, no change, just progression. Money moves, yeah, we keep it flexing. Freedom's the vibe, we ain't second guessing. Second guessing. Clock hit heavy when the screens light up. Silence in the room, but the numbers all rough. Red and green flicker like a warning sign. Every second calls when you're running out of time. This ain't hype, this is pressure and math. One wrong red, turn the wind to the past. No applause in the middle of pain, just conviction, risk, and a way to the game. It's the hour the lies fall apart. When the trend get exposed and the weak lose heart. You don't guess here, you commit or you fold. Every candle printed gotta earn its control. Power hour, yeah, the room get cold. Liquidity shift, watch the story unfold. No comfort trades, no second chance. When the clock start ticking, better know your stand. Power hour where the noise get cut.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Power Hour. We're not here to predict. We're here to understand how traders think when the clock is ticking. As you can see from today's title, we're going to be going over market structure. And to give a little bit of a teaser for tomorrow's show with me and JR, this market structure show will build on two strategies that both of us use. They're more market structure type strategies. Mine is called ICT kill zones. JR likes to use those orbs. So Before we get to all of that, though, we're going to dive into how the market is looking today. We are seeing some movements, nothing too crazy. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a retracement, but the stock market looking pretty nice right now. So let's get my screen share pulled on up, see how the market's doing. We do have the crypto markets seeing a little bit of a retracement, but let's take a look at those TradFi markets first. Let's swap over to my screen share screen. Here we go. We're seeing Apple with a little bit of some upside movements today, up 1.55. Nvidia continuing on its sell off from yesterday, seeing that down 3.94 right now. Was down a little bit further, seeing a little bit of buy pressure coming in, but nothing too crazy. We do have Berkshire Hathaway up 2.75. We've got Amazon down 2.4. We've got Eli Lilly continuing on the gains that we talked about this morning on that morning market report, up 8.81% right now. Was up 4% at that market open. Really continuing to see that buy pressure stepping on in. We've got ExxonMobil up 2.6, Tesla sitting down almost 5% right now. We've got P&G up 1.57. We've got Microsoft up 0.64. We've got Google down 2.64 and Meta sitting down 3.4 right now. Hopping over to some of the other things that we like to pay attention to. We've got the S&P 500 down 0.94. We've got the Dow Jones sitting extremely neutral, 0% change on the board for the day. Russell 2000 getting hit a little bit hard today, down almost 2%. We've got gold retracing just a little bit, down 0.98. And we've got silver also seeing just a little bit of a retracement today, down 0.9. Hopping on over to some of those crypto markets, though, we've got quite a sea of red bubbles still. We talked about that this morning. We are continuing to see that red in the market. Solana down 8%. We've got Bitcoin down 3.1. We've got Ethereum down 3.7. We really got to get outside that top 10 to find anything that's green. We've been talking about Hyperliquid here on the channel for quite a while as everything has been red. Hyperliquid has been doing pretty nicely. We've got Hyperliquid up 4.6 right now. Monero also doing quite well, one of my favorite projects, up 1.7. And we've got Canton Network, which we talked about a while ago here on the Piper Academy, up 2.6. Well, that's what we got for the market pulse today. Kind of looking just a little bit mixed, especially for those bigger asset groups. And let's hop on over to my single screen. Say hello to everyone in the chat right now. We had Donato Cabrera first in here saying, yo, I appreciate you tuning on in today. Hopefully you enjoy some of this market structure talk so that we can start the base of how we're going to use that with some strategies that we will go over tomorrow. We got Alexandra G, the mod queen, in the house. Thank you for tuning on in today. I'm glad you are here. We've got all set in the house as well. Appreciate all of you. We got some lurkers in the background as well. Appreciate all of you tuning on in as well. So let's dive on into some of this market structure talk. We won't bring up a chart just yet. I kind of want to get into some of what we're going to be looking at for tomorrow's show as well. So when we're make future decisions, a lot of this will be taking a look at multiple time frames, seeing, are we in an uptrend? Are we in more of a consolidation phase? Are we in a downtrend? Because all of these are going to impact how you're taking those trades. All of this will be extremely useful when we break down how we trade with market structure tomorrow. Uh, so, like I said, I like orb, or I like kill zones, and JR likes orb. Both of those rely extremely heavily on market structure. And market structure really gives you a little bit of information. Oh, and I must have bumped it. That's all working. I don't know if my camera, though, because it's giving a little bit of an issue. If it's working, we're also getting a little bit of there. 'Cause acting wonky on my looks like it's all fine though. Nope, it is not. It is flashing there. Let me back. Mm, Sometimes it looks like it's all fixed there. So let me dive back in and get into the market structure because I don't know what you guys heard and what you guys didn't. So, market structure, not indicators. Market structure is going to be how price organizes itself. This is very useful on multiple time frames. This is going to tell you if we're in bullish structure, if we're in bearish structure, if we're consolidating, because you trade differently in all of these different market segments. A lot of this will be explained a little bit further when we get into actually how we're using market structure to trade our kill zones, like I like to use, and orb, like JR likes to use. Thank you for letting me know it is all fixed, Alexandra G. No, sometimes this mic is a little bit glitchy. So, yeah, you bump it just a little bit and then it freaks out. So, let's dive a little bit further into what market structure also does. Market structure lets you know who's in control. And who's in control is really going to confirm a bias in one direction or another. Sometimes it's bad to have a bias, but sometimes trading with the market bias is extremely helpful and it can let you know on higher time frames what's going on. And when you zoom on in on those shorter term time frames, it'll really allow you to expand on what might be going on within this certain segment of the market. Let's dive on in a little bit further here. In a second, I'll bring up a chart so we can talk a little bit more about market structure and actually see that on a chart. But a lot of what we're going to be looking for is things like clean swings. When you have liquidity in there, like we talked about yesterday, and you're going to grab up some of this liquidity, are you doing it cleanly? Is it getting absorbed? Pullbacks, are they being accepted? Are they being denied? So when you bump up against a certain area, what is happening at that price point? Also, when you're getting those up, pushes towards the upside and you're trying to get that breakout, what is happening within that push? We will break this all down a little bit further in strategy using tomorrow. We've also got ranging. That's a whole nother area of the market where most of the time when you're looking at charts, the market is ranging about 70% of the time. So when you're trading in ranges, you should be trading just a little bit differently. Liquidity is built a whole lot faster when you're in a ranging period. And that's why you're seeing that real range bound. We're trying to grab up liquidity in one direction, we're trying to grab it up in another direction. If you need to know more about liquidity, go check out yesterday's show. We talked very heavily about liquidity, kind of how that gets built within ranges and outside ranges. So trends kind of stall a little bit in transition periods, these are those key indicators that you might need to change up your trading strategy. Uh, that's why I like to have multiple strategies in my basket. That way, if we're in a different period of the market, I know to use a different strategy. So let's bring a chart on up here and take a look at market strategy on the chart, because this will really highlight what I was talking about. Looks like when I had to refresh my screen share, stopped sharing. Let me get that pulled on up here. So this is the Solana chart. And like we were talking about, there are different segments of the market. Uh, Taking a look at this beginning section here, you kind of see that range, very range bound, with a top side being up here. Let me get that trend line so you can see it just a little bit better. As you can see, nice range bound area, very firm resistance up at the top. And then you can also zoom this on in and see different market structures within this ranging period, like we're talking about. When you zoom it on in a little bit further, this will give you a different kind of market structure within a macro structure. So trading these is a little bit different than trying to trade something like this, where you're in a very nice uptrend. We do want to tailor our strategy to those areas. And when you zoom in just a little bit more here, you can kind of see, gotta get back in time, get closer to what we were just looking at there. There we go. As you can see here, once we zoom this in, there is a range within a range area. You have a nice confirmed high, a nice confirmed low, and you consolidate quite nicely using that higher term time frame resistance area. So we're going to trade this shorter term time frame a little bit different than if we were swinging for this whole area here, where we're trying to target the top, and then we just want to ride it on out to our retracement area. Both of these are extremely different. As you can see, when we talk about that market structure, when we're trying to see those breakouts and we're watching that real swing change, it doesn't get taken. That's this area right here. Let me zoom that on in just a little bit more so you can see it just a little bit better here. These candles really tell that story of market structure. You don't really need an indicator to take a look at this and see that we're topping. So you've got that slowdown here. This has been a nice uptrend for a while. You see that nice sell off at the top here to start to create resistance. Your candle bodies are extremely equal at this top as well, looking like you might try to see that reversal. You zoom this on in just a little bit further here, and you will definitely, of course, it messes it on up. Let's see, shift. Nope. I guess we gotta zoom this one back on out to that hourly. There we go. I don't know why it doesn't just stick with what we were looking at there. There we go. Get all the way back here. I guess we're not going to zoom it in and take a look at that closer look, but you can also see that same thing happening right here when you're looking at that market structure. You've got that sell pressure really starting to come back in. You've got that nice push towards the upside. This is extremely range bound, but here on the shorter term time frame, you get those nice transitions. This is a nice push towards the upside, but price is not being accepted once it gets to those tops. You can see that very quick transition here, that try to retest as well. These are the things that you're looking for in market structure when it comes to reversals. Things that let you know here on the higher term time frame that you might be looking for a short, especially when you have that fail to really reclaim that price. This is that last ditch push. We've got a little bit of effort that we can throw at this to see if we can actually have that market shift, or see if those bears can really overwhelm us. And you'll see that when we pull up an indicator here that really lets you know that there's not going to be a market shift. Prime Oscillator Pro, going to let you see some of this money flow in accordance with this market structure. As you can see, you get that nice little divergence here as you start to get this range built on up. You're trying to get that push above our resistance area to see that market shift. Not getting that market shift as you start to see a little bit of a divergence on your money flow. Your volume starts to come back out as your money flow is really pushing in. What is this telling you? Bears are waiting for that opportunity. They're taking a step back so that bulls can really take that advantage in and then really overwhelm them after they've exhausted themselves. So they are allowing this range to stay steady. We want to use this information when we're trading. And as you can see, they extremely overwhelmed those bears, those bulls right after that with this very harsh drop here. So a lot of this we will go a little more into depth on with actually trading tomorrow. All of these will look a little bit similar when you start zooming it in. You will see a very similar market structure on the higher term time frame, on the shorter term time frame as well. That's why it's very easy. If you learn market structure on a high term time frame, you can really zoom that in and use the same information on a and on a smaller term time frame as well. And let's see, we pretty much went over most of market structure there. A big part of this is going to be finding those highs and lows. We've got those lower highs coming in, lower lows as well. Here, obviously, an uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. So most of the time, though, as you can see this zooming on in, you've got range bound, range bound, range bound. So most of the time, that is going to be what you're seeing. And here as well, zoom it on in, taking a look at the shorter term time frame, that's where you really get that different information. Here's a 15-minute chart, and even though it was range bound on that higher term time frame, it is not range bound here. We use some of those same strategies on the higher term time frame that we would use to take those swing trades, and we will make them on the shorter term time frame. Let's get that on the hourly so you can see it just a little bit better. There we go. This was that range up here that we were just talking about. Very range bound, but here on the shorter term time frame, it doesn't look very range bound. So different trades on that higher term time frame, different trades on the shorter term time frame. All of that information that we used on the higher term time frame will be used to confirm our bias on how we're going to trade on the shorter term time frame. We're going to favor longs in this period. We've got that nice little double top, sweep of liquidity, change of direction here with a fail to really change that market structure or keep with that market structure. Now we're going to favor some shorts here on the shorter term time frame. Here we're going to switch to longs. Here we're going to switch to shorts. So we will go more in depth tomorrow with actually breaking down orb strategy and the kill zone strategies. So today we are not going to have that degen segment. If there are any alt requests that anyone wants me to take a look at here towards the end of the show, now's the time to throw those in the chat and we'll take a look at a few different assets here. We did want to get into a trade strategy that we had teased on our very first show. So that's what we're going to spend a little bit of time with. We wanted to find a scalp strategy here, and we wanted to build that with two indicators. One of those was CVD, and one of those was that fixed range volume profile. So we're going to need a few other indicators in accordance with those to kind of confirm that we have found an area where price might reverse. So let's get that CVD all pulled up. Cumulative volume delta. Let's see. Here we go down here. Cumulative volume delta. Is that going to be the right one? Might need to favorite it going forward. That way we have it ready to go. Looks like that is not the right one. Let's see. Indicator CVD. There we go. That's the right one. Oh, or is that the one we just did? Looks like nope, still the same one. Let's take a look at this one instead. Let's see. I know there's several of them here. Maybe the oscillator one. There we go. There's a better one. Actually worked. I don't, TradingView got all of the indicators there. Fixed range volume profile as well. Let's get this on a higher term time frame so we can see that just a little bit better. Find our fixed range here. Probably going to use this on that, like I said, that 15-minute. Try to find a scalping strategy. Let's get it pulled on up here. Was it this one? I don't use it very often, so nope, not that one. Not that one either. There we go. Fixed range volume profile. So we're kind of going to use this now that we're dropped down in price. We're going to need to zoom out just a little bit further here. So we want some of this data as well. We're going to go back here from this range here to current range and find out our volume areas. As you can see, we're in a little bit of a volume dip. So if we do keep dropping here, we're going to want to look down here. We'll get that one marked on out, see what we can find for some price history on using fixed range volume delta and the fixed range volume profile and the cumulative volume delta. Things to kind of look for on that shorter term time frame. Let's get that zoom back in so we can try to find a nice little strategy here. Look at that nice try to hold on our bottom side there. Nice little potential to find some longs here. We would need to try to find another indicator that really gives you some consensus that we might be shifting. So one that might be extremely useful if you don't have that Prime Oscillator Pro, which we have a link to in the description for a little bit of a discount there. We will get that pulled on up, but we will also pull up the RSI for anyone that does not have your Prime Oscillator Pro. Very, very common oscillator to use to find that momentum there. So let's get this one changed up just a little bit because I don't like how this RSI is. Normally, I have different peaks and troughs. 70 is a decent trough on top on that, but I like to use 75. And I really like to use 25 for the bottom. It really minimizes those, it really maximizes those extremes. As you can see, when you get outside of that here, you're really seeing a lack of strength. Really, really overheated after that push off of our bottom side there on that volume profile. You can also see a lack of volume with the push as well. So we're kind of gonna need some of that there. So me and JR will also work together on this to try to find the strategy live so we can tailor this to future use cases. We are going to need an AI to build some of this up so that going forward, we have this strategy that we can just go like this on and then click that, and it'll give you those indicators that, hey, we're seeing all of the signs that we want on our trade strategy. So I know JR has been working on something in the background, and we will try to get some of this alive for you as well. One thing that we kind of look for, I guess, fixed range volume profile bottom here on the higher term time frame. We can also find one on the shorter term time frame as well, but we're going to stick with that higher term time frame for now. Try to do something with that hourly that really allows you to get those trades on in, and then we'll zoom that on in and try to find that shorter term time frame one with like a 15-minute and try to find some scalping so that we can enter on that shorter term time frame. So now, like I said, with that market structure, you use it on the higher term time frame, and then we zoom that on in to try to use that on shorter term time frames as well, because you already understand it. Here we're kind of seeing some top in action on that cumulative volume delta, really giving you some reversal signs there. And as you can see, that price really reverses. We find that fixed range volume profile bottom, and then we really try to get that next push. RSI extremely cooled off here. So nice little information that we can use going forward when we try to build up this trade strategy. If anyone has any other indicators they'd kind of like to see used in accordance with this, because it's something they use and they would like to see that used on a strategy going forward, let me know and we will get some of that worked on up. Let's hide this one for now. Is it this one? There we go. So we can get that better view here with just the two that we're using. So here's what we're gonna try to do on the shorter term time frame. With using the data that we found here on the higher term time frame, we're going to use those bottoms, and then we're also going to use the midline of our fixed range volume profile as another area where when price reacts with it and we're seeing a nice slowdown of volume here on our cumulative volume delta, that we might be seeing that market shift in one direction or another. This is that market shift here. As you can see extremely nicely, we've got that nice little push towards our midline of our volume profile. Nice little peaking here on the cumulative volume delta. You've also kind of got to keep in mind our RSI to try to find that reversal of trend. So looking like this one would probably be your better entry. As we're seeing that RSI, it has topped. We will miss some trades, but at least catching the ones that we can confirm is better. It gives you that idea of what to look for on those shorter term time frames as well. So I'm okay with missing out on something like this to catch something like this. We just got to pick and choose our battles here. Nice little peak here on that cumulative volume delta as well. So all of these are what we're going to use to program our indicator for our trade strategy. Let's see how things react on that top side now that we've got that view on the top side of our volume profile. Seeing here a little bit of a different information. We're at that top side of our volume profile. We've got more muted volume. Here's a little bit of an easier one to kind of find here on the hourly. We've got that nice push towards our volume top. We are seeing more toppiness here on that RSI, and we're also seeing the peaks on the cumulative volume delta. So a better trade to try to find here. You would miss out on some of this, but you can use other strategies to try to catch those moves. Also, same thing that we're kind of looking for here. Price interacting with that top side. You're seeing that switch of volume as well on the cumulative volume delta. So we're going to have a few different strategies here. Reacting with that volume profile and also using that cumulative volume delta with our RSI. So one of those is looking like price reacting with our top side. If we're looking for bounces, we want to see probably that break below with a shift on our cumulative volume delta with RSI looking in those extreme areas. One for rejections is looking like we're going to try to program in also same thing where we're seeing that price break our volume top. We're seeing that shift of trend in our cumulative volume delta kind of here. We're seeing that RSI also in those more extreme zones. So that's looking like a nice long and a short off of our volume profile for the top side. Let's kind of see what we'd be looking for on our midline here of our volume profile. Looking kind of similar, where we're seeing that break towards the top side of our midline of volume. We're seeing that shift of trend here on our cumulative volume delta as well. So those are the kinds of things we'd be looking for the rejection off of. Let's see for the pumping action, what we'd kind of look for. This is an area that looks pretty nice to try to find those longs off of. We've got nice little break of our volume midline. We also are seeing that shift of trend here in our volume delta as well, as you can see right here. Let me get that volume. Let me get that demonstration tool. We've got that shift of volume right there on the delta, and looking like we're pretty close to overheated on our RSI. This one looks a little bit better here. So this would actually give you a pretty nice trade too. Looking like a nice shift of your CVD. Nice shift in your RSI as well. Got to that extreme area and then really saw that bounce. So nice opportunity to program in for longs on our trade strategy. And then also with programming a lot of these trade strategies in TradingView, we're going to be able to automate that. So if you got the right exchange, some of those allow you to use webhooks to just automate this when you already know with some back testing that what your success rate is going to be. So we will get into that further on some other shows. For now, this is just finding the indicators that we want to use and building up kind of what we'd look for with these indicators so that we know how to program our trade strategy going forward. Looking like we're kind of seeing that same thing here. So pushing off, we're seeing that nice little shift in the CVD. Looking like we're not getting that RSI though. So we might need to drop that RSI back to the 25 or back to the 30 to really get those better indicators. Looking like we found pretty much all that we're going to find using that fixed range volume profile. And then we will have to find that on the shorter term time frame. We'll do that on another show. So looking like it is 12:35 my time, and we've got a little more time to kind of go over things. I don't know if there's any assets that anyone would like to see some TA on, but you can go ahead and throw those out. I will wait for y'all to do that while I wait for that open up that Q&A session. I don't know if we've got any questions for today, but I'm going to put that in the chat there. Ask me anything, and you guys are free to ask any questions that you might have, and we will try to get some answers to you about anything that you want to know. This can be trading specific. It cannot be trading specific. You can make it a little bit fun if you want to. Let's see. Good AM. We've got tough to read your name with it so small. We've got MDS Trader in the house. Thank you for tuning on in today. I appreciate you showing on up. This is a new show here on the Piper Academy, and it's a little nerdier. So we're trying to get into the things that will really help you with your trading that's outside of just looking at a chart. Building trade strategies, trading psychology, looking like some live trading as well. Very close to looks like a potential entry on Bitcoin. So let me actually get the Bitcoin chart pulled on up here. You'll see some of my indicators that I use for my trading here. We're in that PM session. Let me get over to my screen share. There we go. There's the right screen share there. We got Caliphant in the house as well. Appreciate you tuning on in. Oh, Army Piper showing on up. Good afternoon, nerds. At all the nerds at the Nerd Show. I appreciate you guys tuning on in. XYZO tuning on in as well. He said it sounds interesting. So we built up the basis of what we're going to use for our new trade strategy. We've got our volume profile, cumulative volume delta as well. We found that the RSI works pretty well as well. We changed it up a little bit to try 25 and 75, which is what I normally like to use on my RSI. Doesn't work very well with the CVD and the fixed range volume profile. So tomorrow we will finish this up with JR to see what information he has, because he's been working in the background to try to build up a strategy with those. And then we will get a little bit into the programming of the strategy so that we can use TradingView to back test. Looking like might have missed that long opportunity there, seeing some resistance at our wick tops. So looking for a little bit of a shift on that. Let's see what's going on the 5 minute here. Trying to break those areas, but looking a little bit overheated. Potential for a short entry here. Let's see. I'm gonna get my trading one pulled on up. We will see if we can get a little bit of a stab at a short entry here. Let's see what was going on that 1 minute as well. Really struggling with those tops there. So might be a little bit of a short entry that we can take for a quick scalp. Let's get my trade set on up. And we will see when we can get a little bit of some exhaustion there. Set take profit and stop loss, because since we're going to be doing this live, we don't want to take excessive losses. So that'll be the stop loss up here at these above these other highs there, and then take profit back down towards the top side of our range, about 72.8. Let me get that in there. Looks like it's 72.9 on the exchange. Already starting to see some of that price drop. So paste that in. There we go. And we will take a little bit of a stab. Looks like we're trying to sweep a little more liquidity out. Continuing with a little push there. I'm going to give it just a little second, allow it to exhaust itself just a little bit more. While we do that, let's pull up over here. We said gold and silver. Let's see, what was that on gold and silver? I have not looked at gold and silver yet today, but we can definitely do that. Looks like it is trying to have that exhaustion, so we'll take a little stab here. See if we can get some of that there. There we go. Nice little stab on that. As you can see, took that stab, and we will see how it does. Looks like we're already in profit, and we will watch this one play on out. We did talk about silver on this morning's show. Got that nice rejection off of what we were looking for some support for a potential resistance area. See if we could hold the 50% line as some support. Dropped all the way down to that 382 there. Potential to see a little bit of a push lower, because we talked about on that morning show, if we couldn't hold our 382, potentially coming all the way back to about $80 and the 236 there. Really seeing that shift of money flow as well here on the shorter term time frame, seeing some of that on the higher term time frame as well here on the hourly. We're starting to lose some of that money flow and our volume as well. We'll kind of have to see if we lose these lows here at about 82, that would invalidate this uptrend. So keep your eyes on that 82.60. That'll be our invalidation of our uptrend. Let's get that horizontal ray pulled on up for you. So you can see it just a little bit better. That's going to be our invalidation point. So if we're breaking below that, really looking for some lower prices. I closed my short from 75, flipped long around 72.5. Wish I'd held my short, kinda. Well, this is more of a scalp. I just wanted to keep it during the show. Oh, I wonder what my dog's all angry about. Uh, let's see. We got French toaster in the house. It came to me in a dream last night that BTC will be at 150K by the end of the week. Oh my goodness, this man got some jokes here. Uh, it's Melissa. Not sure how I logged into my other. Oh, Mel, one love. Glad you are here today. That's kind of what we got for silver. Really looking for that 382 as our resistance area for now. We'll kind of see how this one plays on out. We had gold as well that we looked at this morning's show. We called some levels out the other day. That was at uh, 382 on our fibs. Really, we're looking at it back here when we saw that nice little bounce off of our golden pocket. We were potentially looking for that 382 to come into play if we saw that 50% line reclaimed. That is exactly what happened. Got that rejection off of the 382 there, dropping below the 50% line, looking like it's coming as some resistance. So now we're looking back to our golden pocket area. We're seeing a little bit of a divergence here on that money flow here on the hourly. We'll kind of have to see what happens with that. We've got some cool off here. So we could see a nice little sideways move here all over again. Really try to cool off these oscillators on the higher term time frame. Got to zoom that on out. As you can see here on the 4 hour, we're a little bit toppy. So to see a little bit of cool off, that could come with that little range there. This is looking like 1, 2, 3. So about 12-hour cool off there would give you some of that same momentum, allow you to try to make that push back above the 50. So keep your eyes on some of that there. Let's get back to that 15 minute already starting that range below the 50, and we're really losing our money flow. So keep your eyes on some of that. If we continue to lose that money flow, continue to see our sell volume picking on up, that would be our big indicator that we might be heading back down towards the golden pocket. uh Trades kind of doing a little iffy there. As you can see, really trying to see this as that top. We've got our stop loss up here, starting to print a red candle though. So there we go, up 2% right now. Nice little stab. We'll see if we can get a little continuation off of that. Not a bad little scalp entry. We will see if it plays though. Let's see what else we got in the chat for today. Alexander G dropping those chart prime indicators. Appreciate that. That link is also in the description. 45% off for your first month. Really love the tools that they got there. That Prime Oscillator Pro replaced my RSI. That's one of my favorite indicators because it gives you a lot of information. You get your money flow, you get your volume, all in one concise spot. And then you got your ribbon as well. So great tool to use. If you're not using Chart Prime, you're missing out. They've got a lot over there. Not seeing any questions coming on in the Q&A. So might wrap this one up. I'm not seeing any other TA requests, but we definitely got time for some TA requests here. While we wait on this trade to kind of play on out here, I did want to pull up my Bitcoin chart and show you guys a little bit of what we're looking at on our trade strategy programming. So let's get all of these off of here. Looks like it's hidden. We will hide this one as well, hide that one, so we can just see that. Actually, you know what would have been easier, just going to the one that we got for the show. So let's get rid of the fixed range volume profile. Let's get rid of this as well. We will use those at another time. Let's get our Bitcoin chart pulled on up here and swap this over to the 4 hour. Caliphant saying she took profits on her long. Might have been a good move because now my trade is doing a whole lot better here. This was just a couple. Let's see, what did I use? Um, not to, you used 150 bucks. We're sitting up 6% right now. This was just a 15x, so nothing crazy. Didn't want to take too much risk while I'm focused on other things on the show. So let's get this zoomed on out to the 4 hour because I got a 4 hour trade strategy that I programmed a while ago using moving averages here. Let's get our indicator pulled on up. Wrong group. My scripts 4 hour. This was a long only strategy. As you can see, this lets you know when our strategy has been validated and when we're looking for some longs. So as you can see here, we got our nice little cross. This is our long entry. As you can see, this would have been a long short. I do need to tweak this just a little bit more. It's been a little while since I paid some attention to it, but you also catch some nice moves like this one here. Nice long entry. This one would have caught you, let's see, uh, long exit up here. Looks like about a 60% move. So this was more of a bull market strategy when things are a little bit bullish, the kind of long entries we'd be looking for on swing trades. I do need to tweak this just a little bit more, but this is kind of what we'd be looking for when we're going to program a strategy here together so that we can use this going forward. That would get those nice clear signals of when our strategy has been validated and when we're looking to enter a trade. Uh, Nice little ability with some programming, which if you don't have an AI will help you out a lot. So I'm pretty sure most people here have Twitter, and if you got Twitter, you got Grok. So that'll help out quite a bit if you don't know coding. If you do know coding, it'll also help you out with that as well. So that was the last trade strategy I had. We'll kind of tweak some of that with you guys as well. But for now, we're going to build a strategy from scratch using that volume profile and the cumulative volume delta. And it looks like the RSI as well. Looking like that trade is going well for now. We will see how much longer that plays on out. Getting that next little push towards the downside. As you can see here, continuing on out, we are 7% in profit right now, doing pretty decent for a live stab there. We had a few requests. Sol and ETH really melted down. We talked about that the other day. What we were looking for Solana, 92.78. We talked about it this morning as well. If we couldn't get back above that 92.78, we're really looking a little bit lower here. 85, about 50 cents is that full target that we'd kind of keep our eyes on. Looking pretty nice for that Bitcoin trade. Continuing towards the downside. Let's get that nice little continuation. We will see how price reacts here. This is a little bit of a support area. We will see if we can continue with that downtrend there. Things are could go a little bit lower with that bottoming on our oscillators. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. Solana, though, trying to really reclaim that 92.78 with that push above with the wick, really failed to do so. Wick's wife, fine 89 in the house. Appreciate you tuning on in. Better late than never. You missed out on some of the nerdiness, but you got here in time for some TA. So glad you tuned on in this afternoon. Looking a little bit bottomed here on the 1 hour. The big concern that we do have for a Solana, though, is this money flow. Money flow is continuing to come on out, but your volume has slowed down quite a bit. So a lot of sell pressure stepping out of the market, and your money flow is considerably red. But what we'd be looking for is that area where things kind of switch around, where we don't see that volume being red where we start to see some of that green. And it looks like since we failed at some of this at that 92.78, we could be looking a little bit lower here towards that 85.48, especially with how that higher term time frame was looking. Daily did look a little bit bottomed, but you got some concerns. Money flow in the red, your volume continuing to stay in the red as well. Not really seeing those bottoming indicators all over again on that daily time frame. Get that zoomed on in, take a look at the 4 hour there, and as you can see, the 4 hour does have some bottoming indicators, but the concern is our money flow. Pretty decent sell volume and pretty decent money flow on that sell pressure as well. You got a diamond that printed as well, so potential to look just a little bit lower there. Keep your eyes on that. We will kind of have to see if we get a little bit of some bouncing in this in between area. We did get a little bit of a bounce to try to push back towards our area we were looking for some support, but keep your eyes on that money flow and the volume on your shorter term time frame. 15 minutes really getting that solid rejection off of 92.78. As you can see, very equal candle bodies on that level. Really seeing some ugly money flow here. Look at that lower low on that money flow, getting a little bit of a push, but could very easily roll over. Your volume starting to pick back up on that sell volume as well. So a lot of concerning signs here on a multiple time frames. MACD running a little bit sideways, getting a little bit of a move up, but nothing too crazy. A little bit of a switch on the oscillator there, but with that money flow looking how it is, we do need a big change of a trend there. We had Ethereum as well. I know OC talked about that one this morning. We got a few minutes to go over Ethereum before we wind the show on down. Is there anyone live that I can redirect to? Let me see real quick. Redirect. Is there anyone live? Oh, Crypto Jar. I guess he is live right now. Oh, no. Yeah. I guess so. We can redirect Crypto Jar. If you guys don't know Crypto Jar, you're missing out. He is a fellow nerd and he does a lot of nerdy stuff. He's very big into the mining space. So I've done a few shows with him with CCM. Great guy, another Canadian. I know we all have our favorite Canadian, Alex O. This man lives in Canada as well. So another great Canadian. We're seeing some worrisome signs here on the daily time frame here on Ethereum as well. Whew. Look at that money flow really coming out with some strength. Volume slowing down just a little bit. So that is our one little bit of hopium there, is that slowdown of sell volume. MACD still pointed down though, so really, really iffy here as you're losing your momentum, or your momentum's really picking on up on that sell volume. Not really seeing any shift in here oversold signals to reversal signals, but you could still go a little bit further. We've got that 4 hour trying to hold this old fair value gap. As you can see, that's pulled from back here. This is a fair value gap that is closed, but you can see all of the buy pressure that came on in on that top side. So nice little support area for now. 2,142. Got that nice pushback above, but concerning signs for on the 4 hour money flow coming back out. Your volume has picked up just a little bit on that sell volume, and you got a little overheated on that prime oscillator with just that little bounce off of our fair value gap top. So keep your eyes on some of this. Where did you see BTC hitting bottom before reversal? Are you talking about bear market bottoms there? Ray Rivers. If you are talking about bear market bottoms, I got a few levels. Bro, you dropped our counter this while you were going live. No wonder no one is watching. Oh, well, yeah. The thing about counter this is that anyone can go watch it. uh, anytime. It is not a time specific show. So yeah, that was poorly planned on my part. I might have to change that schedule for drop and counter this. Which, if you're not following Counter This on YouTube, we are on Rumble as well. Me and LBC, we go over non-crypto and non-investing things. So this episode that just went live today was over immigration policy. Not talking about ICE or any of that, but that is coming soon. So a little bit of some spicy takes over there. We are seeing a little bit of toppiness here on our oscillators here on the 4 hour with this rolling on over on that MACD, continuing to see that sell pressure picking on up as our money flow continues to come out, and your volume is starting to pick up as well. So a lot of sell volume coming on in. We do have that 1 hour trying to see a little bit of a bounce back towards our fair value gap top. We do see some bottoming here, but the big worry is that you're losing money flow all over again. Volume just switched from green to red here. As you can see, it is a little bit lower. So bulls taking a step back to try to see these bears push a little bit lower. I would keep my eye on a fib level, which is quite in line with that fair value gap middle. That's down here at about 2053 to 2033. It's a nice little potential for a bounce there. We do have the 15-minute coming on in with a little bit of some toppiness. As you can see, a little bit of sell pressure stepping on in, very equal candle body, just like on Bitcoin. I didn't see a clarification on the reversal, if he was talking about bear market or not. Little bit of iffy signs here, a little bit overheated, continuing to see that money flow coming on out, and sell volume starting to pick back up on the 15-minute. Look at that. Our live trade doing quite well here, up 10% right now, $17 in profit off of 150. So decent little stab. Might move my stop loss just to confirm some profit there. But maybe not. We will worry about that after the show, I guess, because it looks like we're continuing with a little bit of downside. So thank you, everyone. Yeah, referring to the bear market bottom. So I've talked about it here before. For bear market bottoms, I haven't really changed my thesis. I was extremely close to what I was looking for at the top. We were looking for $132,000 for our Bitcoin top this cycle. Came pretty close, so very, very close to that top. Still kind of looking for 38 to about 42 for our bear market bottoms. Don't really like to make too many price predictions, but that's kind of the area we're looking for. That's pretty much this range down here. So where we kind of stalled out there, would continue with our trend here where we're making these higher lows. That's also kind of a fib level. We'd have to go from trend-based fit, or no, not trend base, our fib retracement level from bottom to top here. That's pretty much in line with our platinum pocket, falls smack dab in the middle. 39 for the platinum, so gives you a little bit of leeway on both sides. 38 would be a nice area to kind of see a little bit of bottoming at. 42 gives you a little leeway for that top side. So that's what I got for the bear market bottom. That's what I was kind of looking for there. That's pretty much all I got for today's show, though. Seeing a little bit of a bounce on some Bitcoin. Let's get that zoomed on in. Take a look at that minute chart. See what was going on there. Getting a little bit of some curvature there. We will see if it breaks our highs there, switches trend. If it does, I will exit that. I will exit that little scalp short that we did. Still sitting in some profit, but actually might just exit it live. So there we go. Closing it on out. Nice little scalp short, could definitely continue, but we will keep it with the show. As you can, we'll get to screen share actually. As you can see, getting a little bit of a break of those highs, so looking like you could continue here just a little bit, but seeing some divergence on the shorter term time frame. Don't want to risk it for the biscuit, especially when it's just a little bit of fun live trading with you guys. So hope you guys like today's Power Hour. Not JR. JR will be here tomorrow, though. We'll be breaking down some market structure strategies, ORB and ICT. Those are both our structure strategies that we use. So keep your eyes out for tomorrow's episode. We got two other shows that we do here on the Piper Academy. That's that morning market report at 10:15 a.m. right after Alex O Crypto. We've also got Trading with OC at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the place to be if you like to trade and you like making money. But until next time, today we did not predict what the markets are going to do. We focused on where things might go next and why did it happen. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And tomorrow we're going to dive into those ICT and kill zone strategies. Subscribe, bring your questions, and stay sharp.
Clock hit heavy when the screens light up. Silence in the room, but the numbers talk rough. Red and green flicker like a warning sign. Every second calls when you're running out of time. This ain't hype, this is pressure and math. One wrong red, turn the wind to the past. No applause in the middle of pain, just conviction, risk, and the way to the game. It's the hour the lies fall apart. When the trend get exposed and the weak lose heart. You don't guess here, you commit or you fall.